Thank you, esteemed colleagues, for your work on this critical bill. For the record, my name is Denise Ricciardi. I'm the senator for District 9. I need to tell you first my personal experience. So several years ago, in the town of Bedford where I live, they were going to put a cell phone tower in my backyard and the backyard of our elementary school. And I thought, oh, that's kind of ugly. I wonder if it's dangerous. And that's how my journey began. And it was a 3-year battle, and I've been to Washington, and I have educated myself. I have a commission. So that's why I'm here today. Also, I worked very tenaciously in Bedford to have a telecommunications committee and write ordinances and do everything I could to protect the people in my community. So as I was investigating the cell tower radiation issue, I discovered that while information is presented by companies that make it seem like cell tower radiation is safe, in fact, there are no safety assurances when it comes to this radiation. While wireless companies put forward federal agency statements as supporting their stance, a deeper look reveals that these agencies have not looked at all the science, nor have they concluded safety is assured. Furthermore, and most importantly, the federal agencies that the public assumes are ensuring our health and safety are in fact not ensuring safety. Long story short, there is no U.S. health and safety agency that is studying cell tower radiation and reviewing all of the research on which to ensure. I am not against technology. I do not want us going backwards. What I do want is safe, sustainable, responsible technology. This bill is a public health and safety measure to support towns across the state so that cellular networks are more responsibly placed. I'm not suggesting we remove this technology. I really need to emphasize this. We just need to do it safer and smarter. I'd like to share with you some facts that I learned in hopes all of you can make an educated decision. The FCC cell tower radiation safety limits do not ensure safety. They are 25-year-old limits that were set in 1996. The state rules that say that the only way this radiation can harm us is if it creates heat. Please refer to Appendix D of the majority report in the commission for ample science showing you that you don't need heat to cause harm. Wireless radiation has been found in peer-reviewed published science to cause serious damage at not heating levels. The FCC and the industry promote reports from the FDA making it seem like the FDA believes cell phone tower radiation to be safe. This is inaccurate. First, the FDA has never done a formal review of all the independent science. Secondly, the FDA has no authority when it comes to cell towers, cell radiation antennas, and such. They have not reviewed the full body of research on cell tower radiation. In fact, the FDA has, what they have done is put out a now outdated literature review only on the phones, not on anything else. If you actually read this report, you will see it is not about the towers that create the nonstop radiation exposures day and night, but the cell phones, and it's all together. But several health organizations have filed a petition with the FDA and the HHS to declare cell phone tower radiation an imminent hazard. This month, the Pittsburgh Law Review published an article stating, and I quote, "The FCC and FDA have failed in their obligation to prescribe safe RFR guidelines produced from wireless communication devices to protect the public health and safety." Consider this. When I wrote as a member of the New Hampshire Commission to the FDA with specific questions about the health effects of cell tower radiation, the FDA did not adequately respond. I wrote back again with a list of questions, and I said, please answer them point by point. Please do not use a paragraph that you have on your website. I actually had to enlist our U.S. Senator Shaheen's office, and they tried. They would not answer. The FDA wrote back a short email without addressing any of the questions. They didn't even, there is an email chain of this in the New Hampshire Commission report that you can refer to.
Senator, I've given you some latitude. You're well over 5 minutes now.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Could you wrap up fairly quickly? Thank you.
Okay, I'm very sorry. Thank you for that. Well, all right, if you have the testimony in front of you, there is a lot there, and there is science and links. But what I want to say to you is we just have to ask ourselves, do we want this in front of our homes? It's a public safety issue. And, you know, Governor Sununu's done such a great job for our state. And one thing he was quoted in saying in Washington, the Washington Examiner, the role of government comes down to health and safety. So I want to use those words as you educate yourself and you move forward. I truly appreciate the extra time and really wish I could have finished, but I understand. I sit, you know, in the same seat you do.
Thank you, Senator. That was an excellent closing statement. And I'll now find out if the committee has any questions for the senator. Representative McGee is recognized.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman, and thank you, Senator Ricciardi, for your testimony. You served on this 5G committee, and my question is, when we had a 5G bill last year, there was discussion around the fact that 5G seems to be a technology where they're looking for more locations than they've had in the past, that there are going to be existing poles that would be retrofitted so that it's sort of a denser network. In other words, there's more to it. At least that was my understanding. So I wondered if you could speak about not just, the larger antennas, but whether or not they're going to be leveraging existing poles that might be integrated in our neighborhoods, for example, because I was curious about that.
Well, the answer would be yes. As a matter of fact, I started a wire and poles committee in Bedford to address this. And that means no one can come in without going before this committee. And it doesn't single out the industry. It covers the board for anything that goes on a pole. The way and I'm going to let the scientists speak better, so forgive me, this is just going to be me with my knowledge. 5G is millimeter waves, and 5G doesn't work alone. It has to be piggybacked with 3 or 4G, or it won't work. It also doesn't work if it's too high, and it also doesn't work if it's too far apart. Mm-hmm. So what they are wanting to do is to put them in front of every other home and force us to live in a soup of microwave radiation. And a lot of what's going on is they want the cars that can drive themselves, and they put them along our highways, or they also want to be able so people can stream movies while they're driving, or passengers. So at the end of the day, we do need the technology for our phones and computers, but I ask you, do we need to stream movies in the car at the risk of public safety?
Thank you.
Okay, are there any, Representative Bernardi is recognized.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Thank you, Senator. So it's clear the Food and Drug Administration does not have any authority to answer your health and safety questions. I've worked in the industry for 40 years. Their metric is food, drugs, and medical devices. So you're not going to get an answer from them. However, the FCC, when you have discussed things with them, I believe they have authority in this area. Did they give you any response?
No.
Thank you.
Representative Harrington is recognized for a question.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman, and thank you for taking my question. Obviously, we've had a lot of discussion. We're going to have more discussion on the harmful effects of 5G. Can you maybe, since you were on this commission, tell us what's the downside of not having 5G? I mean, my cell phone works quite well right now, and I can put on, streaming movies at home and so forth, and really don't want to do them while I'm driving. But what are we losing if is there any real big pressing need to have 5G?
I do not believe so. I believe, I'm going to say something. I'm probably going to get in trouble for this, but it's always about the money. When are we going to make it about people and health and do our job and protect the people? You can have technology without it being that. It's driven to do the automated cars. It's driven for those reasons. And I also want to add that the higher a tower, the less dangerous it is to you. This rollout, if you will, where they're going to put the telephone poles in front of homes, is going to be right at your level of your home, which makes it even more dangerous. Again, I'm going to let the scientists and doctors speak to that. I know the information, but not having that credential, I prefer not to speak.
Thank you, Senator. I just want to verify, as someone who served on the 5G Commission, are all the source studies that the commission used to compile its information available to the general public?
Yes. Our commission is on the website at the State House, and everything is there, the full report, the links, the presenters, the people who came and spoke to us. It's all there.
Great. Thank you very much. And we really appreciate you being here to testify to our committee here this morning. Thank you for being here.
Thank you, and I'm taking off for education, so I apologize.
Okay.